Hello and welcome to a very special Let's Talk Sport live watch along, and today we are doing the final, well, I say it's the final game of the 2021 Guinness Six Nations, but it's actually the second last, because even though whoever wins this might decide who wins the Six Nations, if Wales win they still get the Grand Slam. But let's not forget that France and Scotland's match did not happen. Because of course it was postponed due to COVID, and we don't even know if that's actually going to get is even going to get played. So, so it doesn't. It is supposed to be our final game of the Guinness Six Nations, and at this moment in time we have a big prize at stake for this one. Of course, it's in Stade de France. France are at home. It's an empty stadium though. And the way Wales are playing, well, I think they've surprised everyone, to be honest. I was not expecting, come the final round of the Six Nations, that Wales would be going for a Grand Slam. Just 2 years after they did it with Ron Gatlin as their man in charge. And, you know, with a team that looked to have been building under a new coach, they've absolutely nailed it in their first year in with him. And you know, with France, I must admit, probably a little bit of a surprise that they lost to England last week. I think really they really missed the chance. And it's a shame, because even though I'm an England fan and I come from England, I kind of wanted France to beat us because we were already out of the running. Couldn't get a Grand Slam. We already lost the game because of Scotland. And I thought to myself, you can't beat the end of a tournament when both teams who are going for it at the end against each other have got 4 wins each. You can't beat it when one of them has to lose and one of them is going to win. It's fantastic to watch. So anyway, we're just getting ready for the game to start. The full lineups are below, the starting lineups that is. So of course the replacements are on the bench, and you can check them out online, I'm sure. But all that matters to me for this is the starting lineup. We're just getting ready for the game to begin. It looks as though it'll be Wales that'll make the kick in an empty Stade de France. I was in a bit of a rush trying to get ready to get live in time, but luckily I did at the end. If you want to get in touch, do send me a question or send me your thoughts on this match or anything else in the Six Nations today. Of course, England lost again. They lost to Ireland, and Scotland beat Italy in the first game of the day. Alan Wynne-Jones watching on. He won the Grand Slam with Wales in 2019 as the captain. Can he do it again tonight? I'd imagine Wales will be the favourites. Luke Pearce is the referee tonight. His assistants are Matthew Carley, Ridley, and we're just about to get going. Here we go. So obviously Wales kicking into France's half. Oh, we forgot to put the crowd sound effects on. There we go. No, Wales have got it back. Oh, Jamie Burgoyne's already got in touch. He says, always remember young Jamie. Wales winning the Grand Slam with no fans and empty pubs basically doesn't count. Just like when Liverpool won the Premier League title. Completely agree. Doesn't count without the fans. It is shit without the fans. Every sporting event without fans at the moment has been really crap. And of course we already know that that in at the Olympics this summer, if it does go ahead, there can't be any fans overseas to go and see the Tokyo Olympics. So not just the fans, but I'd imagine even the families of these athletes that go and see them at the Olympics won't be able to go. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. Go on. France have it in possession. Of course, the one thing with rugby, it's just like the NFL, the clock always stops and starts, so don't rely on me to have the clock on exactly the same time. It is at the moment, but it probably won't be later on. Burgoyne also says, I didn't even realise the Six Nations was on until last week. Burgoyne, where have you been, man? To be honest, Burgoyne, if you're representing England, you're probably about right, because England have lost 3 games in the. Sorry, I thought there was some around my chair then, one of the cats. But it's on phase 7 for France. They've got the ball. 2.5 minutes gone. It's gone back too far. That's a good tackle. France still got it. Now it's on the wing. France holding on very well. 9 phases now. Quick passing. Of course, if France win this, the Six Nations is very much alive for them. This is what I hate. I just wish they did do that game with Scotland before this. I mean, they don't know when to do it, and I just don't see why could they not just do it late this week? You know, get it done while the tournament is still around. I know, of course, some of these players have to go back to their clubs, but just get it done. But at the same time, I think I've been reading that they could just abandon it. There's been a foul there for a high tackle. I think France will have to make the kick. Of course, do get in touch on the live chat page. And of course, let us know your thoughts on the Six Nations this year, or on this match, or anything else. Burgoyne has got back in touch and says he said he hadn't seen much in terms of promotion and advertising this year. I don't know. I mean, you say that. You say that, but I think, I don't know. The Six Nations, we always know when it's on, though. It's not like it always needs much promotion. It's always between February and March. Oh, they're just inches away, France. Surely that's a try. I think he's got it. It's in an absolute massive pile. Referee's having to have a look. He's having to go in there and see if the ball's on the ground. Did they get it? I think they might have got it. There's a couple of France players celebrating, but I think the referee will have to get this checked. Joel Morris says, thought the rearranged game was this Friday. Let me have a look, because there's nothing to say. I've not seen anywhere to say it's happening. But before I check though, let's check the replay. So France, hoping that they've got their first try of the game here. Oh, he falls down just before the try line, but then they had another charge. But then you can't really tell at all. I don't know how the referee's going to decide this. But I don't think they're going to. It's not a try, from what I'm seeing. France already looking a bit nervous. Let me check that rearranged. Yep, sorry, no, you're right. You're right, Joel. It's going to be this Friday. 8 o'clock. Is it in Scotland? No, sorry, it's at Stade de France. Instead, France have to make the kick. Here we go then, line out made. Oh, he's going in surely this time. Wales, I don't think, come on, that's a try. That's got to be a try for France. No, it's not. It's still... Wales' defence has been magnificent. It's a try. The referee's just seen it. They've somehow crept it in. And it looks as though we've got our first try of the evening, and it's gone to France. Joe Morris saying, "Come on, Wales." At the moment, they are behind. So we've had our first try. France with the first try of the evening. And they're going to have their first conversion. And it's Romain who's going to take it. I think he missed an important conversion late on in the game against England the other night. Well, he's got that one. No problem, he shouldn't miss from there. So France leads 7-0. It's exactly what France wanted. So straight away, as you can tell, the clock is way ahead than it should be. It's actually at 7:12. I'm going to start it at 7:20. There we go. Of course, do get in touch in the live chat page like Joel Morris and Jamie Burgoyne have done so far. And subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the stream. Now here come Wales trying to go for their first try of the evening. According to Joel Morris, I'm very behind. What minute are you on? I'm on, as far as when I'm speaking now, I'm on 8:40. So I'm using whatever internet I've got to watch the game. If I was watching on my TV, I'd probably be in time with you. Jamie Burgoyne asking me thoughts on Drive to Survive Season 3. I've not seen it. Don't tell me who wins the World Championship. To be honest with you, I'm not that fussed about Drive to Survive. I think it's one of those where it's good if you're not into F1 and you want to give the sport a go. Hang on, Wales are going in and they've got to try. No? Surely they have. Well, they've got into the zone, but I don't know what. I don't have the commentary on, so I don't know what the referee's saying. But what a start they've already had before we've reached 10 minutes. Yeah, they're going to have having a decision about this. Let's rewatch what happened. So he got taken down just before the try line. Did he lose the ball? Joe Morris saying the ball might have held up. Don't worry, Joel. I've told that Chicken XL. I've basically deleted all his messages, so I don't think he can get in touch. So they're still reviewing it. This is, if you've just joined in, this is to just check if Wales have got their first try. So after the TMO review, I don't think has he given it? No, I don't think he has. What a game we've had. We've not even had 10 minutes yet. I must change my clock again. I always forget to pause it. So it's actually at 9:50. Joel Morris is... so Joel, you're a bit ahead of me. I hope you're enjoying the stream. But Joel Morris, you can tell me the future, but don't. Don't ruin it for me. Oh, we got Melissa Thomas saying, I'm a Welsh girl living in Australia, struggling to find the game to watch online, so this is great. Oh, you're very welcome, Melissa. And she says, come on Wales, in capital letters. And W. Roberts saying, Welsh guy living in Canada here, appreciate the stream. Oh, thank you very much, folks. Joel, don't tell me. I'm just about to see the Wales try now. Don't tell me, you're ruining it for me. As I said, you can tell me the future, but don't. I'm just watching them now. They're just only a couple of yards away. I tell you what, that France defence, I've watched them for the last year or two now, and if you get past them on the back foot, it's a present, because it doesn't happen very often. That defence of France is very good. Oh, great storming run. He just went right in there. Try for Wales. Well done. Seven 5. And the conversion's complete, so it's 7-all. What a game we've had already. 12 minutes in. So France have made the kick. So only 12 minutes gone, and we've got ourselves a game here for what we were expecting would be a tight affair. So the tries coming so far for France is Theo Fefinu, who scored the one try, and the conversion coming from Jalibert. I didn't quite see who got the try for Wales. Just waiting for the confirmation to come in. So France have the possession, 13.5 minutes gone. Oh, this looks good. Oh, easily. France have got a try. They've got another one. It didn't take them long. 12-7. That was fantastic. Wales back foot completely gone, and it's Antoine Toubon who has scored. And Joe Morris has just said, I'm nervous for this game today. I'm sure you are. I would be if I was Welsh. France, They know they're a good team. And they need to stitch up what happened last Saturday against England. And they're reacting very well. 12-7. And I'm sure the conversion, it's in the centre, just about 15 yards away. Shouldn't have any problems with it. There you go. So 14-7. Of course, we will expect Wales to come straight back. Joe Moore saying, I'm Welsh, by the way, that's why I'm nervous. I thought that was the case because of you saying, come on, Wales, earlier. Alti Triple X Olard saying, Wales better win. Joe Moore says, love the speed of the game. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I only follow international rugby, so I'm not a guy who would watch all the club rugby. I watch a lot of football, you see, so I don't I don't see as much, but yeah, the pace on this game is fantastic to watch. I mean, it's a shame, isn't it? A match like this, there's no fans. What a waste. Damn you, COVID. LT Triple X Olard asking, what's the score? Scoreboard's just below me, 14-7 to France. They've had 2 tries, Wales have had the 1. France with 2 conversions, Wales with 1. 16 minutes gone. Wales already starting to look for that second try. Phase 6 at the moment for them. Oh, they're giving it. Both teams are really giving it a go. They're so hungry. As I said, it's a shame France lost last week. I'm an England fan. But when we beat France, it was a bit of a too little, too late. And look what happened today. We lost to Ireland, which I put it on my Facebook earlier, and I don't know if many people like the idea of what I said, but I basically put Eddie Jones is done. I think Eddie Jones has been great for England, but I think he's done the best he can for England. That Rugby World Cup final was just, sadly, we just didn't turn up. But for Wales, yet again, a small nation that just absolutely nail it when it comes to rugby. You can never, ever doubt Wales, even when they've had a poor run. But France, in the last 2 years, I've loved what we've seen from France. Oh, Wales on the flank. Just a couple of yards away. It's on the ground at the moment. Surely, they've got to get this. Oh, again, they tried to storm in with the run. Alan Wynne-Jones with the support. It's on to phase 13. Oh, hang on. I've put 2 tries on the other one. What am I doing? It's 1 try, that one. Oh, hang on. It's there. I think Wales have got it. This is fantastic. 14 all it's going to be at this rate, and it's we've only had 18 minutes. So yeah, this is a great game. The conversion's a little bit further out than what France just had when theirs was in the centre. And number 19 for France is just getting warmed up on the sideline. He's doing his padding training. Dan Bigger's already had one kick today, 1 from 1. Can he make it 2 from 2? No problem. No problem there. 14 all. Hope you folks are enjoying the stream. This is the first time we've done rugby on the Let's Talk Sport channel, so if you're enjoying it, do subscribe to the channel. We hope to do more rugby in the future, especially Scotland, France this Friday if we can find the time. So France to make the kick. Fantastic game of rugby already. At least the clock hasn't been paused. Anyway, here come France. We've had a few more messages on the live chat page. W. Roberts responding to Joel saying, "I hear you, Joel. Nervous here too. Having a beer to stay calm." What beer are you drinking, Mr. Roberts? Probably Megan says Wales in capital letters. Melissa Thomas saying, "Nervous over here too. It's 6:20 a.m. Otherwise, I'd be joining you with a beer." What beer though? Brains? Because it's Wales playing. Of course, Brains isn't on their shirt anymore, is it? Fantastic drink though. I went to Cardiff a few times, and I always enjoyed a pint of Brains when I was there. Oh, Wales have intercepted it. Well done. They got it deep into France's half as well with the kick. So halfway into this first half and it's 14 all. It's a fantastic game. I keep saying that, but it's exactly what everyone hoped for. As a neutral, it's exactly what I hoped for. Probably Megan says, "Come on." Probably Megan, I think, is a Wales fan. So, game's just been paused. And again, I have to sort out my clock. So it's going to be a scrum. France with the ball. Just waiting for the scrum to begin. Here we go. There's lots of messages coming in thick and fast. Really appreciate you guys keeping me company while I watch this. If you, as I say, folks, if you can, do subscribe. Do subscribe to the channel. Click subscribe. We'd really appreciate all your support, as we're a very small channel. We're at 428 subscribers at the moment, but we would love to get to 430. We're at 429. Let's get to 430. It's another scrum. And it's this time Wales to start it off. 23 minutes gone. There's more messages from you. I'll read some in a moment because here come Wales. Oh, taken down. Back up again. LT Triple X Olod saying, if we win this, don't we win the whole thing? Yep. You win the trophy and the Grand Slam. Wales have won all 4 games so far, so if they win this, that's 5 out of 5. Don't know why, but I completely forgot Wales beat England. I missed that. I don't think I watched that game. I'm glad I didn't, because since I'm English. Probably Megan was responding to LT Ollard saying, I think so, but France have another game. But I mean, look, if Wales win this, doesn't matter. France will get second. It's on Friday night. That game. Oh, fantastic. We're at 434 subscribers. Thank you very much, folks. Really appreciate that. Well, I was happy just to get to 430, but 434 is fantastic. So do subscribe if you haven't already. As I said, we're a small channel, but in the meantime, Wales have got a penalty. Now, he's had 2 kicks from 2 so far. Will he get this one? No problem. Straight in the centre. He has them for breakfast. So Wales take the lead. But I'm sure the scoreline will change a lot of times between now and the end. (14-17) to Wales. France with the kick. And Wales have won the ball. Bit of a kicking game going on. I always love that bit. That's the one thing I love about rugby, the whole kicking game between both teams. 25 minutes gone. LT Triple X Ollard saying, I'll sub if Wales beat France. Go on, click the subscribe button. I'll tell you what, if you click the subscribe button, then Wales will win, I reckon. There's a lot of messages coming through, so I'm trying to keep up. Let's have a look. Mr. Roberts saying, like I said, I really appreciate the stream. Nice one. Us expats, all I'm sure. Thank you. Thank you, Roberts. I'm so happy you are. He says he's drinking Kokanee, which is a fine Canadian beer. Okay. I'll have to. I'm always up for beer recommendation, so I might go and look on Amazon or Google or something like that after this and see if I can grab one. I always like to try new beer, so I appreciate you sharing. I don't drink from home though. That's the weird thing, because I'm a pub person. I don't like to drink from home. My dad is the same, and so is my brother. I mean, my dad doesn't drink anymore, but when he used to drink, he wouldn't drink from home either. It seems to just be a thing in the family. If I get alcohol for my birthday, like whiskey or beer, then of course I'll drink it at home. But yeah, I would like to try that though. Cooking. I'll write that down. Reese Pulling Fishing, is that how you pronounce it? Says out on the bank fishing and rugby. Where are you fishing? Sorry, is it Reese Pulling? Yeah, Reese Pulling Fishing. I apologise if I'm reading that wrong. Probably Megan saying, we got to win this, man. My English dad is rooting for France. Oh no, I'm obviously rooting for Wales. Well, I'm English, and I think maybe some people would think I'm rooting for France. I don't really care. I'm happy for whoever wins deserves it. So whoever wins this game for me deserves. Well, to be honest, I think we'll be happy if Wales win. France came so close last year, but they lost a game, and they lost the Six Nations. England won the Six Nations last year, but they didn't do a Grand Slam. If Wales win this, they've won a Grand Slam this year and 2 years ago. You know, despite the fact that England have won it so many times recently, at least Wales can say they always win a Grand Slam. England always lose one game but still lift the trophy. Oh, thank you, Melissa Thomas, saying really appreciate the stream. Thank you. Beth and James has got some flags in her message. Oh, fantastic. We're now at 437 subscribers. Nice one. Thank you very much, folks. And LT Triple X Olod has subbed. Pre-W. Yeah, pre-win. Pre-win. Beth and James has subbed. Thank you very much, Bethan. Really appreciate it. Who are you supporting tonight, Bethan? Melissa Thomas has subscribed all the way from Australia. Probably Megan has said Wales have been so good this year. If we lose, then fair enough. I'm really impressed this year. I'm really surprised. But again, I said before, Wales, you can't doubt them. Even if they have a bad form before the Six Nations, it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, that's the weird thing. The Six Nations, the last one finished in October, but that was just to play the final round that got cancelled because of what happened this time last year because of COVID. Handling errors, France have got 5, Wales have only got 2. Is Olivier going off for France? Well, one of the France players has just gone off. It isn't Olivier though. Actually, I think it's number 22 that's come on for France. So Jalibert has gone off and he's been replaced by Tamek, Romain Tamek. Just as we're about to reach 30 minutes. And we've got a scrum between the two sides, and France will start off the scrum. Oh, here they come, France. Out of the scrum, they've got the ball still. They're playing the advantage. And the referee has stopped it. He's going back to where the scrum took place, which was a few yards back. And I think it's going to be France's again. If you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel. We're now at 437. So really appreciate the support. Let's get to 450. Let's get this subscription number up to 450 before the end of the game. So Wales 17-14 up. Both teams have scored 2 tries. Wales edging it because of a penalty a few minutes ago. Line-out's been made for France. And it's successful. Past the halfway point of the pitch. W. Roberts says, I might send you a case of Cockney. Comes from British Columbia. I wonder how famous it is. Is it a new beer? Have you had it for a while? He says he does miss British beer though. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? I mean, even though I'm not Irish, my favourite drink I've ever had from where it was born is Guinness. When I went to the Guinness factory when I was 21 with some of my friends. We had a weekend in Dublin and it was absolutely phenomenal. The Guinness was so good. It was so good. And it's funny because I've had Guinness since back in England, which I still like it. But I mean, Guinness is like eating a meal, isn't it? It's like having your breakfast all in one or your dinner. So you feel a bit bloated when you drink Guinness, but the iron is great. I remember my mum always said to me that pregnant women would have Guinness. I don't know if they still say that. Well, I'd love it if they still believe that they should be able to. Anyway, here come France. 8 minutes till half time. We're at 438 subscribers, 12 away from 450. And there's a high tackle here. Let's watch this. It's when France had the ball. Was there really much in that? I'm not sure. Looking at the carries, 61 for Wales. France have got 45. Gain line success is 25 for Wales, 9 for France. And then the line breaks, Wales 2, France 1. Dobby Roberts is saying, it's been around for years, Cockney. One of Canada's best sellers. I love Guinness too. You're making me homesick now, lol. I'm sorry. Sorry. Oh, and Tamek is going to have his first kick of the match. I just missed the distance there. The graphic goes up very quickly. Is he going to get it? Yep, he does. No problem. All the kicks we've had so far in this game have been successful from both teams. Now, does that make it 17-0? Yes, it does. This is a phenomenal game. Kind of don't want it to be half time at all because of how this is going. I will. If you want to send me a case of Cockney, do get in touch, Roberts. I'd love to. I'd love to get a case. I can, if you really want, mate. I can get you a case of something. We can do a swap. We could do a swap. Anyway, line-out's done for Wales. Oh, straight through the middle. What a run that is from number 14. That's a great run. He's gone down now, though. He's pushed them up a few yards for Wales. Fantastic. 5 minutes to go. This is just end-to-end stuff. It's a great game. You know what? We need fans in a game like this, but it just shows that with or without the fans, both teams are hungry to finish on a high. Wales really want that Grand Slam, but France really want a sniff of the Grand Slam trophy. Sorry, not Grand Slam trophy, the Six Nations trophy. And France have won the ball back, and it's kicked out. And we're at 439 subscribers. Thank you very much. We're just 11 away from 450. Let's get to 450. If you haven't yet, do subscribe to the channel. We're a very small channel. We've only just started doing watch-alongs for the last month or so, and this is our first ever rugby match. So we really appreciate it. So keep your messages coming in about the game. We'll read a lot more of your messages at half-time in the next few minutes. And, ooh, what's happening here? W. Roberts has said absolutely we'll send a case of Kokanee. We'll be in touch. It's pronounced Kokanee. 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 Have I said that right? Kokanee. Says he's on his 5th already. Damn their nerves. So what time is it where you are, Roberts? Is it 6 hours behind England in Canada? I will read more messages, folks, once it's half time. We've got 3 more minutes left. And we're at 440 subscribers. Thank you very much. And that's Kieran Carolan who has done that. He's made his mark in the chat page to say 440. And just as we say that, France nearly got through the defensive line in. I can see why some of the Welsh fans are a bit nervous. Because both teams, just all of a sudden, when they can find the energy, they just seem to get through those back lines. 2 minutes to go till half time. It's going to be a scrum here. Probably the last action we'll have of the first half with a minute and a half to go. France have a kick. They've made the kick. 30 seconds to go. Kieran Carolan asking, how many points do you get for a draw in rugby? Is it just the one? Because it's normally 2 points if you win. But obviously if you get a certain amount of points against your opponents, 30 or more I think, you get extra points, don't you, in the Six Nations, which it's been a thing for a while now. Oh no, sorry, LT Triple X Olod says it's same amount. I guess that makes sense because a draw in rugby is very rare. When obviously when you compare it to football, you can easily get draws. And I think that's half time. Yep, it's half time. Well, that's been an absolute cracking game so far, hasn't it? Fantastic to watch so far. So, 17 all at half time between France and Wales, and it's only been 40 minutes. Normally, when you have it 17 all, you'd expect that after both halves, but it's been absolutely phenomenal to watch so far. Yeah, fantastic to watch. I've really enjoyed that. I wished the Scotland-France game had happened just so we would have known what would have happened. I'd imagine France would have won that game, but it would have been just nice for it to have actually finished tonight and not with the Scotland-France game taking place at Stade de France this Friday night, which actually I'll be happy to do a watch-along for that if you folks want to join me. For that, that's 8 o'clock on Friday night. But it's good so far for Wales. It's nerve-wracking for them, but look, if they're going to win this Grand Slam, they've got to put in the best efforts, and they have done. And France have done the same. There's not much. The scoreline says it all. There is nothing to separate them. They've all done the same thing. Both teams have scored 2 tries, and they've both scored penalties. So it's been a fantastic game to watch, and there hasn't really been that much error either. So you wouldn't have thought France would have lost to England last week because of when you look at the fact that Ireland beat France. convincingly as well at the Aviva Stadium today. But yeah, 17 all. I do have my stats page up. Oh, hang on. I've just made a... What have I done? Sorry, let me just try and find it. Just trying to find it. There it is. So 17 all. There is the stats somewhere on the Six Nations website. There was earlier. I can't find any at the moment. Here we go. Here's the overview then. So they're looking at the overview of how they've all done so far in the Six Nations. Look at this. Wales 19, France 13. You've got, who else you got? You've got conversions being 13-11 to Wales. Penalties 4-9. Of course, France and Wales both got a penalty each in that first half. Missed penalties. France have missed 2 so far. Of course, France missed that late one, I think, against England last week, which wouldn't have been enough for them to have won the game because they needed a try, but they could have done with it. Let's have a look. Drop goals, there hasn't been any. Missed drop goals, France have had 1 in this campaign so far. In terms of carries, Wales have 461. France with 333 for 333. I think the more important ones right now is the scrums one. We've had quite a few scrums in that first half. Wales have won 23 of them in this campaign. 17 for France. And look at the line-outs one. I mean, it's another big gap. Wales with 54, France with 47. And then the line-out stolen, it's actually 4 all. And funny enough, last year in the Six Nations, France had beaten Wales at, I think it was in Cardiff. Yeah, it would have been in Cardiff, Principality Stadium, when the fans were actually allowed in. They won 27-23. But of course, right now, there's nothing separating the two sides. 17 all. And we're certainly enjoying this one so far. Let's quickly have a look at the results we had earlier today. Let me just get the... I didn't get the scorelines ready ahead of the stream, but here we go. I mean, look at this. Scotland 52, Italy 10. How boring is it getting now that we've got Italy who just lose every game on the calendar? Because I've got no disrespect to Italy, but I just think they need this proposed relegation spot in the Six Nations, where if you finish last, you get replaced by another team from the tier below. So most people have been saying Georgia would probably take Italy's place. I'm not saying Georgia would do better than Italy, but I just think it might make it more interesting, and it might make the Federation of Italy and the team wake up a little bit and realise that these defeats are going to go towards off. I mean, you don't want to lose anyway, but you want to have more of a reason why you don't want to lose, because you don't want to get relegated. There's a lot of sports out there that you see where you don't have these relegation promotions, and I think it would make it even more exciting and have a lot more on the line if they had it. So, yes, I'm not really sure why it hasn't happened yet. I'd love to see it happen. I think Sam Warburton, who's a pundit on the BBC tonight, talked about it a few weeks ago after Italy had lost their 28th game in a row. Absolutely ridiculous. It's bad. It's bad. But yeah, look at that. Scotland 52 to Italy 10. So Scotland, who are normally known as the second worst team normally at the Six Nations in terms of the last few years in the standings, they thrash Italy as well. And look at that. 2 tries for Cherry and for Van der Murray. And then you've got Graham, Jones, Steele and Johnson getting tries as well, just for fun. And Hogg getting 6 conversions. No problem whatsoever for Scotland there. So Italy, no doubt, have lost all their games and are going to finish rock bottom. And then the other one, of course, just happened before this game between France and Wales. Ireland 32, England 18. As an Englishman, that hurts me, but it sums up our Six Nations this year. Pretty embarrassing for a team that won it just a few months ago. But Earls and Conan getting the tries for Ireland, and Youngs and May, the usual suspects for England, getting the tries there. The conversions, 2 for Sexton and 6 penalties for Sexton. Farrell had 2 penalties and Daly got 1 conversion, it seems, for for England. But either way, it doesn't look good, does it? This is the table currently, which of course is before Wales and France's game had kicked off. So this isn't a live table. It was updated a few hours ago, about an hour or so before the Wales game. So Wales currently top with 19 points. Ireland on 15. Scotland are at third with 11. But it just shows how crazy it's been underneath the top spot. If France win, of course, I'm sure they would. I think France should go back to second. And let's not forget, France have got a game in hand over Scotland late this week. So even that France and Scotland game to fight for either third or fourth or second, it's a big game for Scotland. So they'll certainly fight for it. So that's what we've got so far in the table. Anyway, let's read some of your messages. I did say I'd read some of your messages. Let's have a look. So we're at 440 subscribers. So thank you to all those new subscribers that have done that throughout this stream so far. If you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe because we would love to have more followers. We've only got 440. We'd love to get to 450 tonight on this stream. So do help us reach that. We'd really appreciate it. And if you have subscribed, do message in the chat page. We'd really welcome it, and I'd be very happy to thank you directly if you can. We do football as well for our watch-alongs, rugby. We're hoping to do tennis soon. And of course, if you like your Formula 1, we're doing that next weekend when the new Formula 1 season starts in Bahrain. So that'll be a week on Sunday. So do join us for that if you want to do that. And of course, the tennis, as I mentioned. We're now at 441 subscribers. Thank you to whoever that was that subscribed. Really appreciate it. Let's look at the messages then. LT Triple X Ollard saying the Rugby World Cup, I think New Zealand's going to win it. I mean, it's in 2 years' time, isn't it? I mean, they're no doubt always going to be one of the favourites. They got a bit torn apart at the end, though, didn't they, of the last World Cup? They just couldn't do it against Eddie Jones's England, which I remember watching that game first thing in the morning because it was in Japan, and the time difference between Japan and England is very different. And I honestly thought it felt like we won the World Cup in that semi-final. If only that was the final. And I think sadly they looked a bit hungover, England, in that final against South Africa, and the Africans definitely enjoyed it. They definitely deserved it. Let's read some more. Kieran Carolyn saying happy with today's win. Come on, Irish rugby, second place coming. Well, who knows? Of course, let's not forget Scotland have got a game in hand. France have got a game in hand. But it was a good win for Ireland today. They needed to finish the year like that. They really did. Because Ireland, in the last decade, Ireland have won a few Six Nations titles. So this is what I love about the Six Nations. It's so close rivalry. Forget Italy and maybe forget Scotland in terms of the last few years. But you just never know who's going to win. France, some people would love to see France win it again because it's been a while. Excuse me. I didn't want to leave my mic on while I sneezed. I don't think you lot would want to hear that, so apologies, but couldn't help it. But yeah, I would like to. I'm not a France fan, and I'm not saying that I would want them to win tonight, but I think for France to get their hands on the trophy again for what has been quite a few years, I think. Do tell me, folks, what year it was they last won it. I might just Google it in a minute, but it'd be nice to see them up there again. And we're at 442 subscribers. Thank you very much. So we're now just 8 away from 450 subscribers. So do subscribe if you're enjoying the stream, and I'd really appreciate it. Let's have a look at more messages from the chat page. Alti Triple X Solid saying Ireland did good today. They thrashed England. Did a good. I thought England played okay, but it summed up the tournament for them. Tad McElroy says Ireland. I'm sure McElroy, you'll be drinking some Guinness tonight from that. I'm sure you enjoyed that victory. The Hero Formula saying I'll finish my spiced rum, then subscribe. Thank you, Hero Formula, much appreciate it. Spiced rum on a Saturday night sounds amazing. I don't drink spiced rum. The strongest I go for is normally whiskey. I do have a bottle of Hague Club in my cupboard, which I would have it if I had some cola in the house, but I ran out of that last night. And it's weird, I don't drink soft drinks anymore. I used to, but then literally from lockdown I wanted to lose some weight, and I lost over a stone. I did some walking for literally 2 months, and basically I just did a lot of walking and made sure I did at least 10,000 steps a day, and I didn't really eat in between meals. Yeah, it was fantastic. I felt really good, and I realised that if you ever get hungry in between meals and you want a biscuit or something, get a pint of blackcurrant or a pint of water. You realise that if you drink that, you don't get that hungry afterwards. It actually fills your tummy up. So yeah, and I learned that soft drinks for me was making my stomach. It was just making me feel a bit bloated, but not good either. Like, I quite enjoyed drinking Coke or lemonade. I prefer, actually. I think lemonade's actually all right, but Coke's quite extreme. And when you read about what's actually in the drink, it's horrible. I don't know what it's called, but it's no good for you either way. We all know that, but it's addictive. And I think I read that people drink the human population drinks more Coca-Cola than water, or it's sold more. But either way, that's kind of worrying. But one achievement for Coca-Cola, that's crazy. So yeah. W. Roberts says it's been around for years, Cockney. Oh, sorry, yes, you did say. I'm going to Google that after this. I really do want to, as I said before, to anyone who... Is anybody else out there who loves beer and suggests any beer that I might not have had? Do let me know. I normally like Guinness. Of course, that's an obvious one, but especially when you watch the rugby, Guinness is great to drink. So we're just about to get ready for the second half. That was a quick break. So France just about to kick off in what could be a very... Well, it already has been, hasn't it? It's been an exciting game, but let's hope that the second half continues the form of what we've had in that first half. Now, the one thing I haven't thought about is the clock, because I'm used to doing football watch-alongs, and I forgot to do the next clock being like it was. So actually, if I just get rid of that for a moment. So it's what? It's at 40. And we're at 447 subscribers. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. 3 more away from 450. Let's do it. Let's do it. We've had some more messages. ABS Jones saying 7 away now. Thank you, ABS Jones, if you were one of the subscribers. Really appreciate it. Karen Carolyn asking if Andy Farrell is Irish. No, I don't think so. And just as I say that, worst game of 2008 says no. And ABS Jones says, from a black taffy, come on Wales, if I may. Of course. More than welcome to show your support on our live chat page. We're all friends here. So here we go then. So yeah, do a lot of walking if you're in lockdown wherever you are, and you haven't got much to do, or you're working in front of a computer at home all day. Make sure you go out for walks. Try and go out 2 to 3 times a day, and count how many steps, because you can lose a bit of weight from it, definitely. Two minutes into the second half, Wales have the possession. Roxy Davis says, "Come on, Wales." Where are you watching the game from tonight, Roxy? We've had a few getting in touch saying that they've been watching it from Canada and Australia. So it's a scrum. I think it's France that have won more scrums in this game. I might be wrong. The hero formula says the worst ingredients in Coca-Cola: citric acid. Yeah, that's the one. Citric acid. Horrible. Phosphoric acid, mercury, sodium benzoate, benzene. I can't read some of that, but yeah, it all sounds awful, doesn't it? So unnatural. I mean, I can't say anything. I will drink it with whiskey, but that's it. I used to drink Coke, no problem, but I can't anymore. Not after reading more about it. Shay Hughes is asking, show us the game, please. I would love to, Shay, but this is a watch-along. If I was showing you the game, we would get into trouble, sadly, because of copyright. Don't have the rights. If you're wondering what it's on, though, it's on BBC. If you live in the UK or you've got a BBC license, it's on BBC. BBC One, I think it is. So watch it on there. But feel free to have the watch along of this in the background, and do get in touch. Let us know who you want to win the game. Meanwhile, here come Wales. They've had 9 phases so far, just a few yards away from the try line. They've got an advantage. And it's now on the right flank. He's going to run in. Oh, taken down. They'll try again, Wales. Oh. France's defence has been so good. That France defence was so good when they beat England in last year's Six Nations. It was frustrating, but you had to applaud it. Here they come now, surely. No! Taken down again. Wales so quick, but France just as quick. They've had this for a good while, Wales, but again, France crowding on the play with the ball. Oh, what's he giving there, the ref? Oh, it's offside. Wales penalised. One of the Wales players is injured at the moment, so he's being checked out. Will he continue? Or hopefully he can. Kira Lanigan says Andy Fowle is English. Gregor Galray says he can't, guys, watch along. Oh, yeah, responded to Shay Hughes' message. Roxy Davis is watching the game from Blackwood. Where is Blackwood? That's a town in Wales, according to Google. And it's a penalty kick. And it has been scored. So Wales leading again. That's their second successful penalty of the game. What's Blackwood like, Roxy? Is it a little village? Little town? I live near North Wales. I'm sure you've heard of Chester. I live near Chester. So I'm North Wales, right next to me, so near the border. So I do like Wales. Wales is a great country. Lovely, lovely, beautiful country. Especially Cardiff. I think Cardiff's a great city. Oh, damn it, ref. The Welsh player was just about to make the kick and then he got his hand in the way and made him try and do it again. Bit annoying. So the kick's been made by number 10 to kick it out for a line out. We're just 2 subscribers away, folks, from 450. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we would love to get to 450. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a push going on here, or like what Wales are doing here, and they'll kick it a little further out. Roxy Davies saying, yes, you got it. Roxy Davies saying, little yes and a bit mad. Never heard of Blackwood. Gregor Galway saying, just subscribed. Thank you very much, Gregor. Really appreciate it. Tell us who you're supporting tonight. Narcissus Pizza says, hi, everybody. Hello, Narcissus. Di Thomas saying, would like to watch from Indonesia, but having problems with VPN today. Well, Di, if you stay on this watch along, I'll keep you updated if you're struggling to watch the game. Di Thomas, I presume you're Welsh with that name. ABS Jones is suggesting that I try Nigerian Guinness beer. I'll give that a Google, definitely. Gregor Galway is also predicting Wales to win. Well, at the moment there, if it finishes like this, they will at 20-17, but it's early days this game. Yeah. Oh, what a kick! Has he got the ball? Yes! Surely! That's a try! Oh, he's got it! It's on the ground, surely! Oh, that was close! They're going to check it. Oh, my word, that should have been a try, though, really. Wales got through the back line. Oh, the referee's going to check. This is a big moment because Wales are hoping to get the gap. Referee is checking. As I said, this is a big moment. I'm going to say it isn't a try because when he held the ball, he had it on the. He was just about to put it on the ground, but there was an arm, like stopping it from the contact, and it was from a kick from Wales, literally just through. And they've got the TMO on, so they're watching the replay here. I mean, this is a big moment where Wales should have just got this try either way, so they'll be gutted if this doesn't count. This is a fantastic tackle from France. Oh, and the France players grabbed the ball on the way, and his hand is under the ball to stop the ball from hitting the ground. Now, if that succeeds, what a tackle and what an interception if that does not become a Wales try. They're going to check a few times. They'd seen the kick at first, and it was a simple slip from the last man, before they tried to get to the try zone. Again, they'll watch this as many times as possible until they reach a verdict. Of course, with this TMO being checked, the timer has been stopped. It's that tackle. It's all coming down to that tackle now. So that's how they're trying to see what. I don't think it's hit the ground. I don't think it's a try from what I'm seeing. The angles, and they've got a good enough angle, I think. I don't think he's got it. Oh, his hand's underneath. You can't. Oh, it's such a tight one. Referee still, Luke Pearce is the referee tonight. He looks small in front of these rugby players. Has he given it? Yep, he's given it. It's a try. What a moment. So Wales have got the gap that they needed against France. Over half an hour to go. This is exactly what Wales had hoped for, to just bridge that gap when the second half started. And of course they've got the conversion to be taken, so at the moment it's 17-25 to Wales. This is to make it 27, so they would go 10 points ahead, and you'd definitely put Wales as the firm favourites to win the Six Nations, but to also get the Grand Slam. And it's straight through the middle, no problem again. He's been successful in every kick tonight. That's Wales' third try of the game as well. So the kick's been made. France with the ball at the moment. 51 minutes gone. Here we go then. France in the middle of the park. Straight away they're just going all guns blazing. They know that half an hour it may be a long time in a rugby match, but when they're up against Wales they want to spare the moment really and just give it their all to try and turn this around now. Here they go, they're going forward. It's now down onto the left flank. No further up there. Here they come again. Oh, if France get a try here, it's just, you just don't know what to expect at the end of this game. 9 phases and they're still going. Here they come. Oh, he's dropped it. Oh, he's dropped on the right flank. Oh, they did well there, France. So meters made 6.57 for Wales. France have had 380. France technical man just watching on in the stands. The one great thing we've had from France over the last 12 months is they're not good enough to win a tournament, but they are no doubt a dark horse. And you know, this is a young French team. So I do believe that if they just carry on playing like this in the next few months or year or two ahead of the next World Cup, they could be a threat. And let's not forget as well, France are hosting the next Rugby World Cup in 2 years' time. The tickets have just come out for that, and they've of course recently, early this year, announced the polls. So pools, not polls. What am I saying? I think it's going to be a penalty kick here for France. Meanwhile, we're just waiting for the penalty to be taken for France. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, really appreciate the support tonight, because we've gone past the target of 450. We're now at 456. Let's get to 460. 4 subscribers away. So France about to take the penalty, and they've got every kick so far. There you go. There's the penalties down the middle, easy as you like. So they've got some points back on the board. And now it's 7 points that separates the two teams. So 7 points. France with the kick. Back into Wales' half. And they'll kick it up front again. Ooh, he's got there. Well done. Great kick. Fantastic kick. Oh, he's lost it. France have got it back. It was just a few yards forward, but he got there. But then he just dropped it, and then France intercepted straight away. They didn't even let the ball bounce from his drop. France with the possession, playing on the advantage. Nearly 55 minutes gone. 7 points separates the two sides. I don't know who's going to win this. As I said, France, when they got that last try, I would say they're firm favourites. But again, France are responding so quickly in this game. It really is. Both teams are just not hesitating. They're just going for it. And this is what you want. You want the 110% from your team. You can't go wrong after that. If you lose, you lose. It just happens. Someone has to lose. But if you go out losing by putting everything out there on that pitch, it's really worth it, isn't it? France have got the ball back, but they're in their own try zone, so they've got to get out of it, and they've done so. Oh, it's a great run from number 15. He's now been taken down, but he's got a few yards in there. He's done very well. They're approaching it on the left flank. Oh, and he's gone past the whole line. He's got. I think. Oh, big tackle there from Wales. They nearly lost it, and we hadn't even. It was literally going past the halfway mark. Vincent saying good rugby. Absolutely good rugby. I'd say tremendous rugby. I don't want this game to end. It's been fantastic to watch. Jensen the Great, Lewis. That's not an F1 reference, is it? I love F1, so I keep thinking when you're saying Jensen and Lewis in the same username, I would have thought that's all about Jensen Button and Lewis Hamilton, but I might be wrong. He says, come on Wales, let's set this world on life. Teddy Thomas has gone off and he's been replaced by Arthur Vincent for Wales. I think France are about to make a change as well. So line out for Wales, successful, it's a good catch. Vantage played, kick is made. Oh, the kick's nearly. France have got it though. Scary moment for France. Because their line didn't seem in shape if Wales had somehow won that. Yeah, Vincent saying, yes, we want offensive. Absolutely. You know, it's the same in football and other sports. You just want non-stop attacking. You want the defenders to go absolutely knackered. And if they do their all, they do their all. ABS Jones saying, anyone in Carmarthenshire, which is South Wales, I believe. There's been a lot of messages on our chat page trying to keep up with you all. I'm very bad at trying to keep up, so sorry about that. Vincent's in Asia. Where in Asia, Vincent? Which country are you living in? Here come Wales charging through in the pack, looking for that 4th try, which I think, I'd say it should bury it. They should do. It's down the right wing. Has he got there? He's got it. It's a try. And Wales have opened the gap up yet again after France's penalty kick. I think they might just check it, but I think it's all good. It was a tight one, but it's now Wales leading by 32-20. Now he goes out of bounds when he puts the ball on the ground. But does his feet land? I think he's got it. 22 minutes remaining. I think he'll get it. It's a bonus point as well for Wales. So that just gives them even more glitter on top of this win if it stays like that, and the Grand Slam and a trophy. So all in a good night's work for Wales so far here in Paris. They're having a TMO check just as we've reached 58 minutes. I thought they would check it. It was a tight one. ABS Jones saying try or not. I think it is. Casey May's from Carmarthenshire, so there you go, ABS Jones and Casey May. We have 2 people watching from Carmarthenshire. It's a small world after all. Is it going to be a try? I don't think it is, actually. You know, the scoreboard's just changed, so I don't think it will be. It's gone back to... Oh, again. Oh, it's no try. Yep, the signal's been made. It was tight. I probably would have given it, but to be honest, it was either way. See, sin bin for one of the French players, and it's Mohamed who's going off. Yellow card for him. So he'll be off on the pitch for 10 minutes, Mohamed. Well, the penalty kick is good for Wales. So instead of it being a few more points ahead, it's just going to be 10 points that separates the two teams. But time is ticking away for France. They've only got 22 minutes. And of course France will make the kick. Big R with the penalty there. He's had a good night for Wales so far. No one's missed a kick yet for either team. All conversions and penalties have been scored. Cyril Bailly's just gone off for France, replaced by Jean-Baptiste. JC Wrexham saying, come on Wales from Wrexham. Ah, Wrexham, I'm only 20 minutes down the road from you, JC. I live in Mulpus. I'm sure you've heard of Mulpus, the village. I forgot to start the clock again, that's helpful. Meanwhile, we've got a scrum. And we're at 459 subscribers, so just one away from 460. Thank you for the support, really appreciate it. Back with the game. France have the ball after the scrum, as it's landed back deep into the half. Meanwhile, that sin bin is currently at 7 minutes and 45 seconds. So France with one man down. Doesn't help when they're trying to get 10 points against what has been probably the best team in this Six Nations of Wales, who are just 20 minutes away from a Grand Slam. Jason the Great Lewis saying England referees are horrible. Are you on about football or rugby? Because if we're talking about football, I would certainly agree. I don't know much about England referees in rugby, so I'm not going to comment. It's a line out here for France. All it takes is a try. And then they'll be back in this. And here they come now, France. In the last quarter of the pitch. They're pushing it forward with their man with the ball. Both players behind him pushing him forward, trying to get him through. Ball's down at the moment. They'll go through again. Oh, good run. Just taken down by the last two men for Wales. Oh, has he got it? Is it a try? Oh, it's literally on the line. Wales will defend like mad. They're going to defend for their life. Advantage played, referees pause the game. And they've had to make the kick, France. So the match clock's just been paused again. It's at 63:06. According to Vincent, the referee's from Switzerland, and that's Luke Pearce. Oh, France, surely have they got it? I think they've got it. Surely that's a try. Thing is, the poor referee, he can't know because there's so many of them going for the ball, you can't see it. Have France got themselves a try here? Let's talk to the line. Judge and he's... the usual thing, if the referee hasn't got a clue, if in doubt, use TMO. I think this one's a try. I'll be surprised if it isn't. This looks more convincing than the Wales one, which was given. So they're just checking. Oh, forgot to pause my clock again. Vincent asking, how's both teams been in your opinion? I think they've both been exactly on the same level, Vincent. They've both gone for it tonight. Both teams have eaten their Weetabix this morning, and they've taken this opportunity with both hands. I mean, the scoreline says Wales are playing better, but look, if France get this try, we're back to it, aren't we? We're possibly going to be only 3 points. Actually, I say that, I don't think the try's been given. No, it hasn't been given. I don't know, I thought that looked like a try to me. I didn't see much of the TMO, to be honest, but it looked like a try. Unless they showed an angle that I missed. That proved otherwise. So it's going to be a scrum instead. So still 20-30 to Wales. I'll have to check how many Six Nations Wales have won before today, if they do win. How many Grand Slams this will be. Here they come again, France. Oh, he's dropped it! Oh, big kick for Wales. The ball was dropped and then it ended up landing on one of the Wales defenders just making the kick. He literally kicked it like it was a hot potato. He just didn't want it to stay there for any second longer. He made the kick and it was offside. Quarter of an hour to go. We have reached 460 subscribers. Thank you very much. JC sending me the message saying you have hit 460 subscribers. Thank you very much, folks. Really appreciate it. LT Triple X Ollod has got back in touch and said Wales, Wales, Wales. Lewis Boy 11 timer said Wales, Wales, Wales. France with the scrum. And Wales' defence have been absolutely superb in the last few minutes. France doing everything they can, but they just can't get it into the zone yet. We've seen some fabulous defending on the try line this year. Not just from Wales, but from France as well. Oh, Ellen Wynne-Jones completely taken out there, but the play goes on. Ah, has he got it? No, no. He's rolled next to the try line, but he can't get the ball on the ground. Oh, surely they've got it this time. He's got to get it this time. No, he's got it. Yeah, it's a try. France have got the try. They needed that. If they didn't get a try out of that, they would have really, really messed up their chances. They've got a try. 30-25, and it's Bryce Doolan who's got the try. I think it's his 8th try of the campaign from what I just saw. think it'll be hard to think of man of the match for this game because they've all done splendid. As the referee checking it again. TMO after TMO after TMO. As a football fan, I hate VAR checks all the time. Surely it's a try. What are they saying? They're looking back at one of the tackles. The guy who's doing TMO tonight, who's in a cave or wherever it is he is, wherever he's located to do these TMO checks, he's been very busy tonight. He's doing the referee a big favour. I think my only problem is with technology is that you have officials and referees and umpires and all that at some point they rely on it too much and they can't even make their own decisions anymore. Just to let you know, that sin bin's 38 seconds away. Oh, the ball's gone all over. They're still checking. So even though the score line on our board says 30-25, will it stay as that or will it go back to 30-20? Jensen the Great Lewis saying, help Ocean, he is lonely. Mike's Beans, please reply. And we're now at 462 subscribers. Thank you very much. This check has taken forever. Come on. As a neutral, I'd like this try to be given just to make the last 13 minutes or so very exciting to watch. Because really, I think Wales will probably want to go for another try. Because you'd think that would be enough then to win the game. But of course, let's see if this try does get given. It's another big moment for the championship as well as this game. So they're showing it again where it might not be given. Alan Wynne-Jones gets completely taken out there. Jensen the Great Lewis says he's on something high. Oh dear. Mr. Baby Ocean has farted. Oh dear. Hope you opened the window. What is going on here now? The referee's having a word again with the captains for Wales and France. If you haven't already, folks, and you've just tuned in, do subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. Do subscribe to the channel. Oh dear. He's got a red card out. Oh dear. And because of that, the try will not be given. And it's just getting worse all of a sudden for France. It's just not going their way, these referee decisions. Paul Wellemsey has been given the red card. And they've got another player, that's sin bin, but that's only 38 seconds left. So both teams are still separated by 10 points. So the line out taken. It's Ken Owens has just come off for Wales, replaced by Elliot D. JC Rex, I'm asking what happened. You know what? I have no idea. I think it was because of a tackle made when Alan Wynne-Jones was taken out without the ball. And I think because the referee looked back at the TMO, they decided to give one of the French players the red card who made that tackle. And I think that's why. I'm watching this game without commentary, so it's sometimes hard to... sometimes hard to figure out what the referee's saying. But there's just over 10 minutes to go. France have still got it deep in Wales's half. They're only a few yards away from the try zone. They could do with a try right now. Yeah, sorry about all the message deleted things that you're saying. There's just 2 users that seem to have got on the chat page and just kept putting stuff like I farted and all that. So they were just trolling the chat, so I do apologise. But I just decided to just block them because they're clearly just messing around. And I want to read messages from the actual legitimate people like you all messaging me now. Jiv asking me, is that time right? I am on a stream that's probably a bit slower than anyone watching the game on TV. Well, actually, no, you're probably right, actually. There we go. 10 minutes to go. France still have the possession. Lewis Boy 11 time saying France is losing big time. I mean, I guess it's big time, but if they can... I mean, unless you lot are ahead of me, but at the moment I've got France with the possession still, and they're still sniffing for that 3rd try on the night. They need to get a try. They can't afford just another kick. Nine minutes to go. Lewis Boy 11 time says, come on Wales. He says, Wales, Wales, Wales. Lewis Boy 11 saying he's subscribed. Thank you, Lewis Boy. Really appreciate it. Have France got a try here? No, I don't think they have. Wales's defence have been amazing. It's ridiculous. Angie W says, come on Wales from New Zealand. Angie W says, come on Wales from New Zealand. Angie, are you from Wales? Did you move to New Zealand? If that is the case, I can't say I blame you because I'm sure the weather in New Zealand is a lot nicer. But we do love Welsh weather. I like the wind and the rain. Not all the time, but it's... Oh, hang on, I think France have got it. No, again. Wales have literally put everybody in that moment to stop the ball from going across the line. Oh, he's dropped it. Wales have intercepted. And he'll kick it out just to get them back out there and get them spread out again and get them out of their own try zone. W. Roberts saying you did the right thing. Don't let idiots ruin this. You're doing a great job, and us genuine fans appreciate it big time. Thank you very much, W. Roberts. Really appreciate your comments there. I just couldn't be doing with it. And there's a sin bin. Clock's been paused again. So Wales have got a sin bin. 8.5 minutes on that sin bin, which it's Liam Williams for Wales. So Wales have got 2 players on the sin bin. What a game. It's a match that's had everything. Oh, France again. Wales are going to, I'll tell you what, they're going to want a beer after this. If they win this, they're going to certainly be enjoying their alcohol tonight because they've defended like hell. Clock paused again at 73:55. Wales are nearly there, but they have been on the back foot for the last 6-8 minutes, I'd say. Tackles made, France 163, Wales have had 152. Stat just coming up there. Jonathan H has subscribed. Thank you, Jonathan H. Thank you very much. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. And I think we'll try and do the Scotland-France game this Friday because, of course, that could determine who finishes second or third and all that. So France won't be, you know, this is bad for France if they lose this because that'll be 2 defeats in a row. From being close to a Grand Slam to at least losing 2 games is not good. So we're now at 465 subscribers. Thank you very much everyone so far. If you haven't yet, let's get to 470 subscribers before the end of the stream. Of course, do get in touch on the chat page. I'll read your messages. Collapsing scrum. So scrum again here. Oh, Werner Rolders has subscribed. Thank you very much. Why is the time stopped? Says LT. That they had a scrum collapse. No, they've paused it again. That's the difficult thing about doing a watch along for the rugby. If you've got a clock, you've got to make sure it's on time. Newton Hinger asking me how many minutes left now. 5 minutes to go. Sorry, 4 minutes to go. It's now reached 76. It's a scrum for France, just in front of the try area of Wales. It's been that, the ball's been there for at least 10 minutes in that area. It's not gone anywhere. Oh, again. How many times does France need to go for it and they still can't get a try? It's quite incredible. Oh, Wales thought they had the ball. There was one hand on the ball to get the interception, and that's a try. Referees made the signal. Now there's 4 minutes to go. If they get this kick, they'll be trailing by 3 minutes. Sorry, not 3 minutes. 3 points. They've got the try. Is it too little, too late though for France? And the kick is taken and it's successful, so it is 27 for France, 30 for Wales. It's been a fantastic evening of rugby. But is that going to be the last try of the game? Imagine if it ends as a draw. What if France get a conversion? Sorry, not a conversion, a penalty instead of getting a try. Wales have to take this kick. It's paused at 76:51. Sorry, again, I'm trying to keep up with the clock. I'm not very good at that. Now here are France. They've got the ball again. Wales, many people in Wales right now are very, very nervous. Can they keep hold of this Grand Slam? Across the goal says the ref works for the French. And Mr. Baby Ocean has said France dog dance party. Let's go doggy water. Okay. We're at 469 subscribers, one away from 470. But what's more important is this game right now. Just over 2 minutes to go. France have the ball. That's what matters to them right now. They've got 2 more minutes. It's taken them a long time. It took them forever to get that third try. Could they really do it again? Because this Welsh defence has been amazing to watch. They're down again, France. They've got the ball still, though. I'm glad I'm not Welsh right now. Oh, the ball's been dropped. Wales have the possession. Wales, they might have just won the game now. A minute and a half to go. They've got the advantage play. France did that last week against England in the last minute. They had the possession, then they just dropped it, and they lost the game just because of that. And they've done it again, France. They've proved that they've got butter in their hands, on their hands when they really need the points in the last minute. I think France have given Wales an absolutely fantastic game. But sadly, they've done it again, France. They're good, but they're not good enough. 60 seconds to go. Of course, we'll talk more about this game at full time, so don't go anywhere. We will talk more about the match and the championship at full time. France have made the kick, and this is really the last ditch effort now with 20 seconds left on the clock, but I don't think they're going to have the time. It is going to be a line out, and they're still they're at least 20 yards away from the try. I can't see them getting anywhere close. So we've reached the 80. The red is up on the time. There couldn't be, could there? Oh, France still going. 18 seconds into the 80th minute. I think basically once they lose the ball, that's it. Wales should win. France they really have given it their all, but they just haven't done enough. Catherine Harris saying, come on Wales. France still have the ball, it's not over yet. They couldn't, could they? Oh, they've still got it. Oh, tackle. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Phase 7. It really is. Last ditch effort, always. It's done. What a pass. Surely not. It's... Oh! It's on the right flank. No! They're going forward. France are getting a few... They're literally near the try line. 81 minutes! And they've somehow had the ball for this long. Surely not. This is incredible from France if they can get out of this and win the game. And it's gone down to the left flank. It's it! They've done it, surely! France have got the try! What a try for France! Absolutely incredible! How to stop Wales from winning a Grand Slam! I've never seen this before, ever! 32-30! Oh my god! Wow! Oh, take a bow. I'm standing up. Oh, that was absolutely amazing. Oh, Wales. They've lost it in 82 minutes. You know what? That wraps up one of the greatest games in rugby I have ever seen. Alan Wynne-Jones can't look. He's literally just looking in the distance. Ow. Some of them can't even stand up after that. That is absolutely incredible. What a try. And I said before, it took them 10 minutes to get that third try. I've got to change the scoreboard. What have I just seen? France, they're not going to... What the fuck? Scotland-France on Friday is going to be really exciting now. France could still win it. Oh my god. And they've still got the conversion to take. And there we go. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go in or not. It's over. All it takes is a kick. What a game of rugby. Wow. Is that the greatest Six Nations game we have ever seen? France have spoilt the Grand Slam party. Wales have lost their first game and the last game of this Six Nations campaign. That is absolutely incredible. And it has ended France 32, Wales 30. They've turned it around in the space of 10 minutes. That is the greatest, I'm saying this now, that is the greatest rugby match I have ever seen. And it's probably on par with England and Australia in the 2003 Rugby World Cup. That is absolutely incredible. I can't get over that. I honestly thought, I didn't think France would even get even anywhere close from the line out. I said from the line out, they're too still far away. I mean, wow. I can't get over that. I can't imagine Welsh hearts. I know a few people who are Welsh, and my Facebook's going to go crazy for them because they are going to be absolutely gutted. What a game of rugby. You know, the whole game was splendid. I can't, I'm speechless. Let me know what you thought about that, folks. That was... wow. What a game. That is fantastic. What a game of rugby. So it's over. It is over at the Stade de France. And the Six Nations has not been decided because of a last-second try from France to win the game 32-30. And by the way, this wasn't before 80 minutes. This was 82 minutes into the game. They had the possession for that long. The ball never went out of play. The ball never got back into Wales's possession. I can't believe what we've just seen. And I completely agree with Splay Blowfish saying at the end of the day, France have won fair and square. And you know what? Both teams should... I know Wales will not take this well, but... But for Wales, they still deserve a credit for their performance tonight. They gave France a great game. France looked to be beaten, but my God, wow, what a game! I don't know what to say. I've never seen a game of rugby like that before. You think of the Cricket World Cup final in 2019, where you just haven't seen those moments before in the sport, and you just don't know how to react to it. You think of football where you have last-minute winners, and you're kind of used to that, but it still just leaves you speechless. And as you saw me standing up there, applauding that at the end, fantastic. Jamie Burgoyne says, "Viva the France!" Absolutely. I mean, they're getting the applause now. Fair play to the Welsh team. They've lined up, and they're letting the French team walk back into the tournament. They're applauding them because Wales might not. I might be wrong, but I don't think they might not win the Six Nations. I mean, France are going to have a tough game against Scotland. Scotland have had a great tournament, and Wales are now walking past the French team and getting applause as well, which is great respect between both teams. They know that they have just played one of the greatest games ever in the Six Nations, arguably the greatest game in Six Nations history. Quite incredible. I can't believe what we've just witnessed, and they're just showing the try again. Completely, no one left there for Wales on that left flank, and he just had to do it. Once that pass was made, it was it. Wales knew they lost. And I think maybe there was a bit of fatigue at the end for Wales because they were defending like hell for that last quarter of an hour of the game. They really, really dug in there. They nearly succeeded. But France, they showed that with persistence it pays off, and they absolutely deserve it. France 32, Wales 30. And France still haven't finished their Six Nations campaign. Absolutely incredible. For any of you Welsh fans, I do apologise if you didn't like my celebrating. You've got to understand, I'm a neutral. That was amazing to watch. I didn't mean to rub it in, but I've never seen anything like that before. I do. Commiserations. Where does this go now? Because the trophy has still not been decided. France will play Scotland this Friday night. We'll no doubt do a watch-along for that. I'm definitely in for that. We'll do that because I would be very intrigued to see what will happen. Gross the goal has said, "Forget it, Scotland will get buried like Wales just did. 14 against 13. Ange, who's from New Zealand, who's from Wales, from Swansea, as she said in the chat earlier, she's just said, worth watching without doubt. Absolutely. And I'd imagine, Ange, it does hurt a bit for you, but that's the great thing about rugby. It is a gentleman's sport, There's always respect from both teams and from both sets of fans. At least it's a shame we don't have fans in football mixing in the stands, but that will probably never happen. Before we end the stream, folks, we just need one more subscriber to get to 470 subscribers. So do subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this watch-along, do subscribe. And our next rugby watch-along will be this Friday night between France and Scotland at the Stade de France. 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. So I'll be looking forward to that. But a fantastic win for France. They've got to beat Scotland now, and then they might just get their hands on the Six Nations, and we've now reached 470 subscribers. We've reached the mark of 470, so thank you very much. Let's look at the stats then of the game. So if I just refresh the table, this is the all-important table. So this is how it looks. With France winning, that's their third win of the campaign. They've lost the one because, of course, they lost to England last week, which I'm sure France now are gutted they didn't win that because they could have been going for a Grand Slam instead. Wales still top with 20 points. France 5 points behind. Ireland, of course, are second, but I don't think they're going to finish second. I'm sure France will. But I think really now it's between whoever finishes second and whoever finishes first. Ireland, I'm sure, will finish third if Scotland do lose to France. England, oh dear. I mean, the fact that England are pretty much going to look like they're going to. Well, they have, haven't they? England are going to finish second last, which is not good. And I'll say this now about about Eddie Jones. I said this early on in the stream. I think he's done. I just have this feeling Eddie Jones might go, because this seems to be the right time. If you're going to change your coach ahead of the next World Cup with 2 years to go, I think you do it now, when there is still time to change it all around. If there's any doubt on Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones has been a great servant for England. He's won us some trophies. He's won us the Six Nations. He got them to the Rugby World Cup final. But I just feel like after that, does he get another chance? I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I think he should. I think he's had his moment. But it's been a hell of a ride under Eddie Jones as an England fan. So well done to him so far. Italy, as always, rock bottom. Look at that. No bonus points, no points at all. Get rid of Italy. I know that's very aggressive from me, but we need to have Georgia in it. I want to see a different team trying out the Six Nations, because Italy need to get themselves a grip. So that is the table at the moment. So a big game between France and Scotland on Friday night, and I'm sure the Welsh will no doubt be watching. What a game we've had. Let's check out the stats. Just trying to find the stats now. Oh no, preview, no. Here we go, match stats, come on. Oh, we've now reached 475 subscribers. Thank you very much. We've just had 5 subscribers out of nowhere. Really appreciate that, folks. So let's have a look at the match stats. So the overall possession. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it, with how tight this game was. Look at that. 50% for both teams. It's quite incredible, that. Actually, let me just move my screen a little bit, because I think we're just missing a bit. There we go. There you go. There's confirmation. Overall possession then, France 50%, Wales 50%. Sounds exactly about right. Overall territory, 48% for France, 52% for Wales. And the time in possession, look at this! Look at this, it's so tight! 16 minutes to 23 seconds for France. Wales had 16 minutes and 16 seconds. And then the possession in opposition, 22%. Oh my god, it's 34 each way. Possession in opposition half, 65% for France. Wales had 69. Possession in own half, 35% for France and 32% for Wales. Stats are just so close for each team. What an amazing game. The stats, even if you didn't watch the game, the stats will tell you it all. And just oh, what a game. Here's some more stats for you. I'll just leave that there for you to look at the moment. That's open play. So yeah, those are your stats there. Quite incredible. Total passes 171 to 156, and I'd imagine France overtook that because of those late tries that they got. So many passes to try and get past that defence. It was so ridiculous. Knock-ons 4-3. Rooks lost 2-0 for Wales. Line break 6-5. Dominant tackles 11-11. It's just, can you imagine? Can you imagine betting on that in the last 10 minutes that France were going to win? I can't even imagine. So there's so many more stats, but I think that's enough stats for me. At the end of the day, the only stat that matters is the scoreline, and that is that Wales have lost. The Grand Slam party has been ruined tonight. I do feel sorry for the Welsh. It's not over yet, though. They could still win it. They'll be hoping that Scotland can beat France, and well, even if France win, they still need to get a certain amount of points against Scotland to win. We'll see what happens, but if France play like that, I can't see them losing to Scotland. I think they'll get another win for this. I'm absolutely sure. Anyway, I think we are going to wrap it up there. Just before we leave, if you haven't already and you really enjoyed this watch along, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be doing this watch along again for the rugby this Friday night between Scotland and France. It's the other way around. It'll be France versus Scotland at Stade de France, where we've just had one of the greatest games in Six Nations history. And I completely agree with Splade Blowfish saying, truly a great game of rugby. Vincent says, thanks, man. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who got in touch in the live chat page. I just seen a message here from Rukia Kochecki 1555 saying, my boyfriend is French and he loves rugby and he loves Wales, but in this match he was for France. Both teams played very well. Great game. Gross the Goal says France has to win by 20 points or they lose on differential. So that's a big task. They can do it and they're at home, so why can't they? And I'm sure the hunger that they had tonight, they'll certainly want to do it. And get their Weet-Bix in on Friday morning ahead of it. So yeah, anyway, appreciate it, folks. Thanks for the support. Excuse me. Apologies. Oh, I always sneeze when I'm live on air. It's always annoying. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Do, of course, join me on Friday night for the live watch along. I'll put up an event on the page, so do keep an eye. W Rabbit saying, I'll message you on Facebook, sir. Thank you so much for the stream. How can you find me on Facebook? Actually, yes. Message Let's Talk Sport on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page, and the link is in the description below. So yes, send me a message. We'd love that. We love to stay in touch. And do join us on Friday for the Scotland versus France game. Anyway, I better go now. It's late. I've got to somehow recover from that. So France 32, Wales 30, the greatest match I've ever seen in Six Nations history. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, folks, and see you later.